All right, so you live in Canada, or you live in the northern US, or you live in other parts of the world that gets cold. Well, right now in Canada, it's minus 20 outside and the heat's on. Well, what does that mean for being a printer? Well, it means that the humidity is dropping. And when the humidity drops, things don't work properly. So here's a few tips for you so that you can get perfect prints while the humidity levels are dropping like crazy in your house or your business. One of the first things to do is to locate your printers where the heat is not blowing on them. If the heat blows on them, things dry out. Things dry out, you have issues. Heads get clogged more, you get more dust going through the machine, so on and so forth. So try to locate your printers so that they're away from the heat source. The other thing is, and this is something that we want in the wintertime, but our printers don't, and that is don't put it in front of a window where the sun's going to beat down on it because it gets warm and things dry out again. So locate it so that it's away from anything that's going to heat it up. Next thing is, try to keep the tops on your printers and the printers all closed up when you're not using them. So there's the fronts on printers, there's the tops on printers. Close them up when you're not using them. That will help, one thing, for dust not to get in there. The second thing is it'll help them not to dry out quite as bad. Now, if your humidity levels is below 20%, below 10%, and it's an absolute desert where you're printing, I would probably say you need a humidifier not only for your printer, but also for the paper, also for yourself. So if your humidity is that low, I would look at humidifying not only just around my printer, I'd look at humidifying my entire house or business. So that's one thing that you could look at if you have a really, really dry place. All right, so the next thing that we need to talk about is we need to talk about our paper. Here's a big area that I see people doing it really wrong, and I get a lot of people contacting me with complaints saying, I have a problem, I can't print when it's really dry because, and here's why. When you get your paper, and inside the box is a bag, and in the bag is all your paper. The bag is sealed. That bag should stay sealed at all times when you are not printing. When you're not needing paper, that should stay closed. Why? Because it stops the paper from getting extremely dry. It stops the paper from drying out, getting wet, drying out, getting wet. It seals it up and it keeps it in much better shape. So keep the bag closed. When you need a piece of paper, take a piece of paper out, seal the bag up, print. Do not leave the paper laying around because as you leave the paper laying around, things will start to curl. All right, so you take your piece of paper and you want to print it. First thing that you should do is before you put it in the printer is check to see how it's laying. If it's laying flat like this one, you're okay. If it has a curl to it, either upwards or downwards from the printed side, you're going to want to decurl it. And all that means is you just fold it gently in the opposite direction. That's all there is to it. Then you put it in your printer and you let it print. When it comes off your printer, take it and lay it flat somewhere. Then close up your printer if you're done for the day, and put your printer away, shut it off, and then leave this dry for, I like to leave it dry for an hour or two before I put it into a bag for my clients. Now, paper takes a while to completely off-gas. And what is off-gassing? When the ink is applied to the paper, there's a little bit of liquid in that ink that has to pretty much evaporate, and that's called off-gassing. And it's some of the chemicals from it, some of the liquid, so on and so forth. It's pretty much the paper needs to dry out, or the ink needs to dry out. It takes about 24 hours. It's not a life or death thing. I have been printing for many years. The older printers were worse for off-gassing than the newer printers. Still an issue. You should still let it dry before you frame it, but it's not a big deal. I don't like to let it sit out just in the studio and let it dry for a day or two because you'll notice the paper will start to curl. So after about an hour or so, I package it up and I'm done with it. It's ready to go to the clients. If you follow those couple ideas for keeping your printers from drying out and keeping your paper from drying out, you should have a lot less problems while you're printing. So until next time, have a great day. I ask if you like this video that you please click on the like button down below. And if you'd like to, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell notification to be notified when I upload a new video. Until next time, have a great day. Get out there and get some pictures and get them printed. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.